does work in 2019 and how the shopper has changed as a result of digital disruption. So I like to talk about 4 main ways that the consumer has changed. And I'm going to go into each of them, but they're called trust, social proof, absolute value, and transparency. So the first one is trust. And I have a few marketing heroes. One of my heroes is a gentleman named Don Peppers, and a few years ago he wrote a new book called Extreme Trust. And the premise of this book is that consumers fundamentally do not trust companies with their information and their money and their data. And that lack of trust is costing businesses $1 trillion a year in lost business opportunities. Nielsen does a study of 50,000 consumers all across the world every year. And they ask all of those consumers how much they trust different marketing activities that we can all do. The things that they trust the most are the things we have to earn, like ratings and reviews and editorial content. The things they trust in the middle are the things we own, like our website and our email list. And the things they trust the least are all the things you can hire publicists to do for you. But I have to warn everyone, in shopper marketing, it's very dangerous to believe surveys, because most decisions we make about purchases, about 96% of all decisions we make, are subconscious. We literally don't know why we're making the decision, but then if we're asked in a survey why we made a decision, we come up with a rational answer. That idea of ratings and reviews is very popular today and super important for e-commerce. So we call the general idea of ratings and reviews social proof. People want to know that someone like them made a decision before them and had a good outcome. So in general, we have this interesting data set that if you take a product detail page on a marketplace or an e-commerce site and it has no reviews and you add 1 review, sales will go up by 10%. If you can get 50 reviews, sales will go up by 30%. So there's a very direct correlation between the amount of reviews you can collect and the amount of sales you can generate. Well, that's super interesting for our e-commerce sites, but worldwide, about 85% of sales still happen in stores. And what is the social proof in the store? There's very little. But today we're starting to see some interesting versions of social proof in stores. The cheapest, easiest way to get all this digital content to a shopper in a store is to give it to the sales associate. So a very common trend we're seeing worldwide is to give the sales associate a digital tool with all that social proof and product information on it. The next concept I want to talk about is called the absolute value. And that's what this concept of absolute value is. It's when it's easy to judge the quality of things, we tend to use the attributes to judge quality. When it's difficult to judge the quality, we use brand, right? And so this has fundamentally changed how people shop for a lot of products. As a result of that digital disruption that we've been talking about, doesn't just go to one store. They're like Iron Man with a computer in his head, or a Brandon Stark that knows everything in the world, or most scary of all, they're the woman with the cell phone that knows everything, and they have all these tools to know all the pricing strategies that we use. So pricing obfuscation no longer works. We have to live in a world in which we have transparent pricing. And so that's the nature of how people are having to be transparent to win in this new digitally disrupted world.